you had something clear which you managed to write down concerning the work, what we have seen. And actually, I would like to give an open space for any kind of comments and maybe some further questions we'll raise up. So if you would like to share anything from what you have written down on your paper, then please feel free to share it with us. Or if you have questions immediately, then just target Vlad.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this part of the performance and just feedback?
No, this is a way of,
Yours.
this is a way of summarizing our ideas. Yes?
I would like to know what the author is trying to communicate. Like, he's trying to say something by remaining silent and maybe watching. I just want to see what he's trying to convey to us, the audience, or you're just like there.
I didn't thought about. It's more like try to create a context. It's not. I communicate the information for the beginning, to create this context, but it was kind of open context for audience. I didn't thought about. I need to communicate this. It's kind of.
But maybe it would be important to know what did you feel, what did you think, and what was your way of.
Yeah, I have written down some points. Maybe you could read through them. Yeah, I have some takeaways, my perspective. But I would like to listen to the others first.
Okay.
I'd like to read what I wrote because it's easier, if it's okay. So, the artist gave me time, the most precious thing in my life, to ask, why am I here? What am I doing? And where am I going? I almost never have the time to ask these questions. I'm too busy with other questions like when's dinner, where did I leave the TV remote control, and what did Trump say today? I asked instead, during this time, why am I here? What am I doing and where am I going? I asked this consciously or unconsciously or some combination. And I was delighted with the answers I created out of nothing. The artist created nothing. I had plenty of free time. I was completely free to find or create something out of nothing. What made this special was that I was fully conscious that it was my artistry that would fill the space of the time allotted. Time is the most precious thing in my life. My life, I always like to say, is an infinitesimal moment of light, a holiday on earth, sandwiched between two eternities of darkness. I chose to fill this small piece of time tonight by making a new friend. I would like to introduce my new friend to you. Some of you have met her. She is Mara Serena. And I had a deep friendship with her during this time, or at least perhaps we began. Deepening friendship. So just to conclude, I was very happy to find something very significant to emerge from nothing. So I thank the artist for giving me the time to create. That's it.
Yes. I can say I feel a bit guilty. I feel that I was suddenly driven by a certain wild feeling. I have freedom and I can use it, but I can also abuse from this freedom. And I think where I feel the most guilty is also towards the performance, but also towards the audience. Because there was kind of a group,
even when we made the sound, and then there was always something happening. Okay, we wait, and then who's going to talk, and then everyone starts to talk together, and suddenly I had this very individual act of just deciding for everyone to clap the computer. And when after I did it, I felt really bad, like it was not me or something. Well, it was me, but just to, yeah. And by writing, I felt maybe it was a bit of kind of revenge, because first when there's the time, and then there's this kind of game, and then in the second part, then I felt a bit like we are left alone, and like, well, now there's no game anymore, and I just talk with my friend, and I forget that we are in a performance space. And so there was this act that could, yeah. So that's what I wanted.
Actually, sorry, you said the artist did not bring nothing, but for me it was the opposite. For me, bring me everything, because, like, also just to say, like what Sarah said, it's like finally I can also be there and to make a choice, because he decided to put us in this situation. So for me that was not nothing. Actually, him as a person, he decided to put us all here. I mean, we also decided that we are here, obviously. And then by his wish, he made or not, because we're individual, something happening, I mean, to me. So that was not nothing, actually, what you bring. It was like, just by your decision, you made everything, actually. That's the opposite for me of nothing. I don't know how to explain it, but...
Okay, we just asked.
I had this feeling of I was sitting kind of in the middle, and I did not participate in the. I just observed. I just stayed, and it felt really much of being like in the center, or the eye of the hurricane. Or what do you call it? Of a. Yes. So much going on, and I just like was there, and like grounded from this. Yeah, just want to share that. Like, I also had a feeling at the point that it was for me all of this, that I was the only one in the audience, and that because it was such a performance, or it was such a. There were so many relations and so many sounds and languages, and like all of these kind of things happening. And so at the point I was actually thinking that people had gotten scripts and I was not like that. I didn't get a script because I saw people reading, speaking. It was just like maybe for a few minutes, or not even a minute. I should know how many minutes. But I was just counting and listening, and But this feeling of like that this was all for me in some way. It was very nice.
So at some point I was talking to the person sitting next to me, if I had paid for this thing, so how would I react? Would I be the same person? So would I be a bit more violent, a bit more impatient? Because I can really wait, like I have the patience to wait, but I'm choosing my options because I know at the end of 45 minutes he can walk away saying nothing. So I know I have 45 minutes and I should do something to make him speak, so I'm trying something. And also I see this piece as an abstract painting, so everybody sitting here can have their own perspectives and whatever, they could think the art as something different, the whole thing. But we would definitely, I'm paying for, if I'm the person who is paying for the art, I would definitely want to hear from the painter himself what he actually had in mind. So which was why I was like thinking, what did you really had in mind when you're doing this? Because you are the guy, we are focused.
Yeah, but in some way when I told you, it's not just I tried to avoid, you know. It's kind of, it was, I built it, this piece in some way, but I think when you put in mind, I want to go to this direction, you know. I didn't want to send in one direction, you know. I want to let it very open, you know. When I made it, I tried to take every element, like to bring more in some way, you know. It's not about minimalism or other, but in some way it's kind of dramaturgical construction, you know, I think. What is necessary, not more or less, you know. So in some way, I created this and I didn't create kind of expectancy. You know. I cannot control. So
You didn't have any agenda behind this, like when you made
no.
no. You have nobody to please to, so you just made it, and somebody who's willing to, who's excited about, they can come. And
No. From my point of view, it's kind of, because it's technology in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to function, you know. This is the main interest, you know. And this is my concern in some way, but it's not related with your experience, you know. It's kind of more, okay.
So I could have walked there and tickled you. You wouldn't react.
I don't know exactly. I cannot.
Uh-huh. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things I could have tried, but I'm limit. Like I was like restricting myself.
You were very polite with just the chair.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
But
think.
it is like more an experiment than a performance than a show.
No, no. You
Because
must define the
It's
performance.
very interesting how people are reacting when they expect something and they have this decision to involve, to close, or maybe to close the projection or to put the chair. Because waiting for me, it was this situation was like in the airport that people was waiting the plane that is in late, and everybody looked to the time and becoming nervous, and this kind of reaction people have in many situations when they are waiting for something.
Yeah, but when you make an experiment, you expect, you know, this is a scientific experiment. You make some condition, and you expect an output, you know. In art, you don't need to, you know, you create a situation and you let the situation to develop, but you don't think in pragmatic way, you know.
Could you share your previous experience with this performance with other groups, or did you?
Yeah, it can be different. You know.
Yeah, I can imagine, but can you share?
Who make surface with me.
Yes.
It can be a lot of things. I don't know. There are some, you know. I think there are some people who prefer to have there are some social experience in some ways. Some people who have personal experience. Some people have both. I don't know. Exactly. It's up to them. But yeah, it's different. I think it's different. What kind of public is, you know, it's age, a lot of unknown things.
And for you?
In some way, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's kind of, for me in general or now?
How different the different groups for you? Do you feel the same?
I don't know.
Do you react to the different groups?
I remain the same in some way. You know, it's kind of more like this. I don't know, can be, I don't know, can be loneliness in some way. You know, it's kind of feeling of loneliness in some way. With other people. Can be this. But this is kind of personal in some way. I don't think it's important.
So you kind of judge the reaction of people when you are performing, or you try
to judge,
you try to not to judge.
I try not to say that it's right or wrong, you know. It's kind of even this, it was not kind of it's a failure, you know. It's a part of a performance, you know. It's kind of it's not.
What makes this feeling loneliness for you? What is it about this that makes you feel lonely?
I think it's kind of feeling, you know. It's hard to explain.
Did you feel lonely tonight?
What?
Did you feel the loneliness?
I think it's
tonight?
because in your position, you know. I think it's kind of how you are in this space. You are near people, but you are far away somewhere. No?
I see.
We had some questions here to stimulate us to write some ideas, and one of the questions is, ask yourself, what would this performance be like if I was a child, if I was a dog, if I was an opera singer, if I was the maker? So I tried to imagine what it was like to be the maker. I guess it's you, Vlad. So I would be fascinated with how the audience would react, and be fascinated with the differences between different audiences. Were you?
Yeah, I'm open to someone. You know? This is the idea, you know. It's kind of experience for me. Every in some way it's the same and different in some way, you know. Kind of. It's kind of the dynamic of the group, you know. But I try, you know. I try to. It's not oriental, but I try to empty my mind in some way, you know, a little. It's not. I try to. It's kind of it's between a game, you know, to be with and to be alone. So,
how many times have you done it? Can you say?
I don't know, maybe 10, around 10, more or less.
And we were thinking if the first part was recording, or live, or a loop, or
What?
the first part
Yeah, it's recording.
of 45 minutes.
Yeah. It's not recording in the space.
Pre-recording.
Pre-recording.
So not looping.
What?
Looping, not looping.
You stood for 45 minutes and that was recorded.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's hard when you make loop. If you put together, you glue together, you will feel, you know, it's jump. I think it's very hard to make it to be real. So I think it will be more work to make it real, this loop, than to stay 45 minutes.
Were you blinking your eyes in a regular interval?
I don't know. Maybe it's a rhythm. I don't know. It's not
Not conscious.
conscious. No.
Did our voices really influenced the speed of the
Yeah. And look,
how?
basically amplitude. It's a software, you know. It's a. I made a software who can control the frame rate of the movie. So
Depending
on the amplitude of the sound.
So
It's kind of.
the louder it is, the faster it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. But it's there are some two speeds, it's a limitation. So I didn't want to be or any small sound, you know, to create kind of, yeah, it's a big sound.
Can I ask you something on you? Because as I have seen this work in Bucharest, I still remember the recognition, and I understood that whatever has happened, and it was also an active with Romanian artists, they were pretty active. We produced sounds and stuff, and then to understand, when I understood that, okay, so now we were sitting here and watching him, live. Do you remember this moment when it came? And what did you feel? Or
Actually, I have seen this piece also already in Vienna, I think, 2 years ago. And I think like at 2 minutes perhaps after the piece have started, then I realized that I have already seen it, and I just I thought, oh my God, I just felt, I just felt actually that I had a really good feeling about it, and then I thought, okay, good, but what was it exactly? What was going on afterwards? How did the piece develop itself? And I couldn't really remember what happened, but I just remembered that I really enjoyed being in this space with people around me, and so I also remember this kind of strong recognition I had for the piece.
yes? To share this moment?
Yes. During the first part, you put us in the playful situation, because when we recognize, we have a power to influence the time. We are also in some way participating in this performance. We started to play. There were nice energy. Somebody just listened and observing the audience. Somebody take a part. Somebody was even louder, and it was cooperating among audience. And then came the second part, and I said, "Oh my God!" But then I accept it, because in the first part I could see literally that time go faster if we make some noise. During the second part, I accept that, okay, half an hour. We have half an hour. How can I influence to go this time faster? And then we start to talk a lot, and then I said, 6 minutes. Oh wow! Now the time went faster, and I think this was a solution for me to really be a part of this performance. And this ending was really violent for me because I accept this game, I accept this performance, and then suddenly cut. Wow! What? It was like, wow, fascinating. That somebody is brave, and you came with this idea. On the one part is this. On the second part, I accept this game, and why? But okay.
And then you never know what was the end. Maybe we missed the final fire.
There's a dance performance after dancing or something.
Yes. I'm sorry.
How you decide the length of the piece? Like, why 45 minutes? Why not 30 or maybe 2 hours?
Yeah. I think I don't know. It was not scientific, but I thought not to be burden, like to be heavy, if it will be 2 hours, kind of. I try to find a good ratio to feel in some way, but not to be too heavy, because otherwise I think become too exhausted in some way. I think. I don't know. And I thought 45 minutes. It's a good choice, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
So, if you don't mind, I would close now here. But thanks for the Romanian
Thank you
Cultural
very much.
Institute. Vlad will be here until the end of the festival. So you can just grab him and ask more or share or whatever you wish to. So he will be here with us. And with this paper, please take it with you. It's not my project. As I told you, it's a project of a Berlin-based artist. And I asked their permission to use these guidelines now, and also maybe to drive your attention to their work. But if you don't mind, we could practice this in the next days. So you can keep this paper for yourself, but it would be really helpful for me, for us in the festival, and also for them, if you could send us what you have written. So So that's why I put in the first line the L1 Association's email address, and if you find the time to type in whatever you could share with us, it would be really helpful. And thank you, Vlad, and thanks for participating and the support. And see you tomorrow. We continue and enjoy the night.